Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Joydeep Paul, and I am an assistant professor at the Department of Biotechnology at Adams University. So we have already started a session describing the topic animal biology or animal bioscience, which is being involved or which is a part of the curriculum, course curriculum for the BSc students in our School of Life Science and Biotechnology for the first year students. So basically, in the previous videos or video lectures, I have described the topic, the importance of the topic, and why it is important for all the students. Also, we started with the first module, that is classification of animal kingdom, where we started with the classification of invertebrates. We talked about the general scheme, and then we gradually moved and start discussing about different phylums among the kingdom Animalia. So we started with the first subkingdom, which is protozoans, one of the most primitive and early animal. Uh, then we gradually talked about phylum Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, and then Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, and Annelida. So, starting from Annelida, all the groups have become true coelomates. And to carry on with that flow, we will start our next session, that is the today's sessions on the next phylum, which is phylum Arthropoda. But before continuing with this particular video, I will request all the students to kindly go through all the previous videos so to get an idea about the whole topic. So let us start with today's topic. So let me first share the screen. So share the screen. Okay. So this is the general classification scheme of Arthropoda. Now, phylum Arthropoda represents a vast assembly of animals, which includes several large classes. But its importance lies in the fact that it contains the class Insecta, which by itself represents about almost one third of all the described animal species, and that makes the Arthropoda phylum the biggest phylum of all. No other phylum can actually compete with this phylum, which is due to the tremendous adaptive diversity which helps the arthropods to survive virtually in every habitat. So basically, this is one of the most important feature of this group, that they are highly adaptive so that they can actually survive through the evolutionary period, and their numbers are so high and because of their tremendous adaptive ability. The word arthropoda comes from the Greek word arthos, means jointed, and podos means foot. So all the animals that belongs to this particular group or this phylum, they actually having jointed appendages or jointed foot. These are well over 1 million. There are well over 1 million described species in phylum Arthropoda, of which the most well-known class is Insecta. So, basically, to before going into the classification of arthropod, let us first go through the general characteristics of this phylum. So the first characteristic point is kingdom, which is definitely Animalia. Then habitat, mostly terrestrial, also can be present in aquatic condition. The third, body is divided into three segments: head, thorax and abdomen. Head and thorax are fused in some animals called cephalothorax. Jointed appendages, as I already described, that this is one of the most and unique and important feature of this phylum. So three pairs of jointed appendages or legs can be found, that means six legs in total. Eyes, compound eyes, which contain several thousand lenses, leading to a large field of vision. So eyes are actually compound in nature or type. They possess two antennae, symmetry definitely bilateral, germ layer triploblastic, complexity of organization, organ system grade, coelom, hemocoel, chitinous exoskeleton or hard exoskeleton, no bones or a skeleton present. Okay. Respiratory system generally by body surface, by gills, trachea or book lungs. Circulatory system open type with dorsal heart. Excretion, Malpighian tubules or green gland. Nervous system, dorsal brain with ventral nerve cord. Sexes are separate, that the sexual dimorphism is present. Fertilization internal, and development direct or can be indirect through different larval stages. So now we can actually talk about the phylum, the classification of phylum Arthropoda, and phylum Arthropoda can be subdivided into four subphylums. The first subphylum is Trilobita. They are now extinct, as you can see from here. They are now extinct. They were widely distributed in Paleozoic era. Second subphylum is Selicerata. The first pair of appendages are Celiceri. Second pairs are pedipalps. Body divided into prosoma, that is cephalothorax, and ophistosoma, that is abdomen. Now, subphylum Celicerata can be further subdivided into three classes. Class 1, Merostomata. Characteristics are aquatic chelicerates with 5 or 6 pairs of abdominal appendages modified as gills. 12 segmented abdomen is subdivided into a 7 segmented mesosoma and a 5 segmented metasoma. A prominent spike-like caudal spine or telson is present at the end of the body. So these are the characteristics of class Merostomata. Now class Merostomata can be further subdivided into two classes. Subclass 1, Xiphozeura, example is Limulus sp, and subclass 2, Eurypterida, which actually now become extinct, or also known as Gigantostraca, and comprises of the extinct giant arthropods. Class 2 is a class Arachnida. They are mostly terrestrial and rarely aquatic. Body is divisible into prosoma, that is cephalothorax, and ophistosoma, that is abdomen. Prosoma bear simple eyes, comma, one pair of chelicerae, one pair of pedipalp, and 4 pairs of legs. Antenna and true jaws are present. Ophistosoma is usually without appendages. Respiration takes place by book lung. Examples: scorpion or Palamnius sp, Arania sp spider, and Loxodes xp, that is mites and ticks. Third class in Celicerata is Pycnogonida, small benthic marine animal commonly known as sea spiders. Opistosoma much reduced. Examples: Nymphon sp. Third subphylum is Crustacea. They are mostly aquatic, few are terrestrial, and very few are parasitic. Head is often fused with thoracic segments to form cephalothorax. Thorax and abdomen have a pair of biramous appendages in each segment. Respiration through the gills or general body surface. Examples: cancer or crab, and palemon or prawn. About 40,000 species are actually present in this subphylum, which can again be divided into 11 classes. Class 1 is Remipedia. Body comprises of a short carapace-less cephalothorax and a long trunk of over 30 similar segments, each with a pair of leaf-like or lateral limbs. Example: Spalion cetus sp. Class 2 Cephalocarida. Body small, elongated and cylindrical, terminating in a telson with a book farca. Examples: Hutchinisonilla sp. Third class is Brachiopoda. Trunk appendages are flattened, leaf-like structures. Coxa is provided with a flattened epipod that serves as a gill, and hence the name gill feet. Over 850 species, living species, can be found in this class, which can further be subdivided into three subclasses. Subclass 1, Calamanostraca, Diplostraca, and Sarsostraca. Examples are Triops or Lynceus and Artemia sp. respectively. Class 4, Ostracoda. Ostracods are small crustaceans, sometimes referred to as mussel or seed shrimp. Body enclosed with a hinged bivalve. Trunk reduced, having no more than two pairs of appendages. There are about 500 5,700 living species are in this class, which can further be subdivided into two subclasses. Subclass 1, Mycopoda. Example is Cypridina sp. And subclass 2 is Podocopa. Example is Cypris sp. Now, class 5, Myascocarida, Myascocarida, Myastacocarida. Marine general features are marine interstitial crustacean with elongated and pigmentless body. Head is divided into small anterior and large posterior. Trunk is made of 10 segments, of which the first 5 bear appendages, and the first one being the maxilliped. Example: Dero, Celio, Caris sp. Class 7 is Branchiura. They are small ectoparasites of marine and freshwater fishes. Body dorsoventrally flattened with a shield-like carapace, covers the head and thorax. Abdomen small, bilobed and unsegmented. Example: Argulas sp. Class 8, Pentastomida. They are the parasites that mostly live within the lungs and nasal passage of the reptiles. Body worm-like and bears 5 short anterior protobranchias. Example, Cephalobema sp, parasites present on the lung of the snake. Class 9, Tantulocarida, they are minute ectoparasites of marine crustaceans. The adult male remains permanently attached to the host by an oral disc. Example, Tantulus larva. Class 10, Cirripedia. Cirripedes are either sessile or parasitic marine animals, familiarly known as barnacles. Body poorly segmented and enclosed within a bivalve carapace. Example, Balansus sp. And the last class is Malacostraca. Body comprises of head and 8 segmented thorax and a 6 segmented abdomen. All 14 segments bear appendages. The posterior thoracic limbs being walking legs or peripods, and the first 5 pair of toes, abdominal ones, forming swimming organs or pleopods. This particular class contains more than 23,000 species, which can be further subdivided into 3 different subclasses. Subclass 1, Phylocarida, Nebalia sp. Example, subclass 2, Hoplocarida, example, Squilla sp. Subclass 3, Malacostraca, example is Macrobacillium species, that is giant freshwater prawn. Then subphylum 3 is Uniramia, body divided into head and trunk. The trunk bear pairs of walking legs, or it may be differentiated into thorax and abdomen, with the abdominal appendages greatly reduced or missing. Appendages uniramos. They are further subdivided into 5 classes. Class 1, Chilopoda or centripedes. These are commonly known as centripedes. Body is divisible into head and trunk. Each trunk segment bears a pair of legs. The first pair of legs are modified into poison claws. There is a single pair of antennae, and they are distributed throughout the world. There are about 3,000 species distributed between 2 subclasses. Subclass 1, Epimorpha, and subclass 2 is Anamorpha. Then class 2 is Symphyla. They are mainly herbivorous myriapods that live in soil and leaf mold in most parts of the world. Body comprises of a head and a long trunk with 12 leg bearing segments and 2 terminal segments without leg. The last segment bears a pair of long sensory hair, which is known as trichobothria. Class 3 is Diplopoda or millipedes. Body is divisible into head, thorax, and abdomen. There is a single pair of antennae, except the first thoracic segment. Each thoracic segment bears a pair of legs. However, each abdominal segment has 2 pairs of legs. There are about 10,000 species divisible or distributed into 3 different subclasses. Subclass 1, Pencillata, subclass 2, Pentazonia, and subclass 3 is Helminthomorpha. Class 4, Pauropoda. It continues soft-bodied, crab-like animals that inhabit the leaf mold and soil. Body comprises of a head and 11 segmented trunk. 9 of them bear legs. The first and last two segments are legless. Pauropus sp is the example. Then the last class is class Insecta. They are mostly terrestrial and rarely aquatic. Body is bilaterally symmetrical and segmented. It is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. Head bears a pair of compound eyes, a pair of antennae, and different types parts of the mouth. Mouth parts adapted for various modes of feeding. Biting and chewing type in cockroach and grasshopper, like example, like chewing and lapping type, bees and wasps. Piercing and sucking is bug, aphids and mosquitoes. Sponging, butterfly, housefly, and symphony, butterfly and moths. Thorax consists of three segments: prothorax, mesothorax, and metathorax. Wings arise from meso and metathorax, while legs arise from each thoracic segment. Abdomen neither consists of legs nor wing. Respiration takes place in trachea and gills. Heart is tubular and divided into chambers, like in cockroach, 13 chambered. Malpighian tubules help in excretion and urocotelic. Sexes are separate. There are about 75,000, 7 lakh and 50,000 species distributed over two different subclasses. Subclass 1 is Entognatha, absence of wings, and in this condition is primary. Example, Isotoma species, springtail, the common name is. Subclass 2 is Ectognatha. The orders are winged forms except for two wingless orders, Micro, Ripia and Hyceura. Example, wingless Lepisma sp, winged Periplaneta, Anopheles, Formica bombix, and Apis dorsata. So this is all about the phylum Arthropoda. So I hope you enjoyed the session. You will enjoy probably. And so let us stop here. I am stopping my slide sharing. So in the next session, we will talk about the